coming up on Sports Night.
Wildcat women's basketball has its next head coach.
And a look at Northwestern's national championships results.
And Northwestern softball faces some ridiculosity in Rosemont. Welcome to the first Sports Night show of spring quarter. I am a very well-rested and refreshed Brendan Preisman, thrilled to open up the studio for another exciting quarter. Joining me on spring's maiden voyage is Ryan Boublik.
Looking forward to it. That's right, Brendan. I am very well rested from a family vacation, but school is back in session and I'm ready to run through a brick wall, baby.
Oh yeah, I am too, especially after watching the launch of the Artemis II moon mission yesterday. And much like that rocket, we are over the moon to be back here in studio.
We certainly are, but enough talk about space. After all, we're not Martians, we're Wildcats, and we have a lot of Wildcat sports to cover.
Right you are, Ryan. It's Sports Night.
Right now.
Welcome back to the MFC studios for another edition of Sports Night. Unlike this show, Northwestern Athletics took no breaks while school was out of session.
Yes, indeed. While I was sleeping, these Wildcat athletes were wide awake, facing some fierce foes.
But we're going to start things off tonight with two major pieces of off-the-court news. Sources tell On3 today that freshman forward Trey Singleton plans to enter the transfer portal. Singleton came to Northwestern as its highest-ranked recruit in the modern recruiting era. The former four-star averaged 7.6 points and 4.8 rebounds per game. And breaking within the last hour, senior guard Blake Smith announced that he, too, is entering the transfer portal. Smith joined the program as a walk-on and became a defensive staple of the team in 2024.
In other big news, Northwestern women's basketball announced that last week it had hired Carla Burube as its newest head coach. Burube comes from Princeton, where she won 5 Ivy League titles in 7 seasons. Sammy Krimstein has more on the newest Wildcat coach.
A new era for Northwestern women's hoops. After 18 years being led by Joe McEwen, Carla Burube is taking over, and it was clear from her opening press conference that she expects to win at Northwestern.
I love to win. I'm lucky enough to have been, doing that a lot, and so. Yeah, I think we can do it here, as well as having, a really transformational, amazing experience for my players.
Burube is used to winning. She did quite a lot of it at Princeton, winning over 90% of her Ivy League games in 7 years. Before that, she built Tufts into one of the premier D3 powers, taking them to 2 D3 national championships. And in her college days, she played under head coach Gino Auriemma at UConn, winning a national championship in 1995. Even today, the grit and toughness of Auriemma rubs off on her as a coach.
Coach Auriemma, my assistants there, had such a huge impact on me. I learned about just the value of relationships, the value of connecting with your players. I also learned the value of defense and how important that is in successful teams. He told me during my freshman year I couldn't guard a chair, so that really inspired me to get better and really embrace that side of the basketball.
Burube takes over a Northwestern program that has won less than 10 games in 4 consecutive seasons. And at a school with a strong tradition for women's sports, she's hoping to turn that around, and for her, it starts right now.
We're going to think the game, but we're also going to compete. We're going to be physical and we're going to be relentless. But at the core, it's about being connected, being disciplined, and playing for each other. That's our foundation.
Leaving Princeton, a program where she set that standard, was a very tough choice for Burube, but the opportunity to compete in the Big Ten at an institution like Northwestern was one that Burube just could not pass up.
I just want to say how grateful I am for this opportunity. To be trusted with this program at a place like Northwestern is something I don't take lightly. I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to get started. Go Cats.
For NNN Sports Night, I'm Sammy Krimstein.
Thank you so much for that, Sammy. As he mentioned, Burube has won at every level she's coached at. She won 147 and 29 at Princeton and made 5 NCAA tournaments. And while at Division III Tufts, she went 384-96 in 17 seasons and made 4 Division III Final Fours. Our Miguel Muñoz joins us now on desk to talk about Berube's journey to Northwestern and what she can bring to the program. Miguel, thank you for joining us. With Coach Berube's hire being officially announced, what does she bring to the table for a Northwestern team that's looking to start anew?
Well, Brendan, thanks first of all for having me on. I'm super excited with this hire. I mean, first of all, we're going to be seeing a complete overhaul here with Burube, and I think that's a good thing, right? I mean, the last 3 seasons with Northwestern, it's been 3 seasons with under 10 wins, so it's definitely something that's needed. But I think what we can expect is change, first of all. Burube is a proven winner. I mean, we already talked about it. The resume speaks for itself. She was a winner at Tufts. She was a winner at Princeton. She's done it everywhere, and now she's moving to the highest level she's been in her career. But I think she can take that next step. I mean, she won 5 Ivy League chips and has 5 NCAA tournament appearances in 7 seasons at Princeton, which is an Ivy League school. So what's to say she can't do it at Northwestern? She also has tons of coaching experience. She's a 26-year coaching veteran, so she can get it done at every level. So I'm expecting no things to change while at Northwestern. I'm expecting a serious improvement. And as a player too, she coached under Gina Auriemma, who's one of the most decorated coaches in basketball history. And I think player building as well is something we need to look at. At Northwestern, when they were most successful was when they had All-Americans, when they had players who stood out. Burube for herself has coached 2 All-Americans, 3 Ivy League Players of the Year, 3 Ivy League Defensive Players of the Year. So she's a good coach, but she's also good at building those players up to be good and successful individually. Lastly, I think when we talked to Mark Jackson, he had 3 things to say in terms of why he decided to hire Burube. First of all, it was that he needed someone that aligned with the culture at Northwestern. Now, Princeton and Northwestern are both academic and athletic institutions, so Burube clearly fits in that mold. Secondly, she's a proven winner with NCAA tournament experience. 2 things Northwestern is looking to get back to. We've seen them go to the tournament before, but it's been a while, so that's definitely something that we're expecting to see with Burube. And third of all, that she can navigate an elite academic environment while also being a winner and focusing on athletics. So Burube is going to bring basically everything to the table, if that's a right answer. But yeah, we should expect a lot from her.
I agree. And you mentioned the proven winner. Throughout her tenures with Princeton and Tufts in D3, and even as a player, she won the 1995 national title. Coach Burube has quite the reputation for winning. How do you think that culture, with her specifically, can translate to Evanston?
Well, I think if you're breaking down her winning culture, the main thing that you realize with her 26 seasons of experience and success is the winning follows her, not the other way around, right? At Princeton, for example, she was able to elevate a team that didn't even win the Ivy League tournament and got an at-large bid, which is practically unheard of for Ivy League teams. And when she talked about at the press conference following her hiring, she said that she was really excited to be at another institution that really valued academics and athletics and was looking to build a championship culture that reflected that standard. So I'm expecting her to sort of build a culture like she's done at Tufts, like she's done at Princeton and now at Northwestern, that is both valuing athletics and academics, and that is looking not to just compete but to be at the top. So she's looking to go straight to the top of the Big Ten, and she has no worries about it. I also think if we're looking at the specifics of culture, I think something that Northwestern women's basketball has struggled with in the past, and something that Burube hopefully can change, is she wants to focus on toughness, discipline, and commitment to growth, which is toughness and discipline. I mean, what better way is there to describe Big Ten basketball, right? So I think Burube is definitely going to be able to fit into the Big Ten basketball culture. And I mean, overall, I'm assuming her resume both in Medford and Princeton is proof enough that she's able to do it. So I should only expect her to be able to bring that culture over into Evanston. It's only a matter of whether the players can buy in.
Yeah, you talked about the new culture, and it's something that the program is arguably in need of. A few disappointing years, as you mentioned, 3 consecutive seasons failing to reach double-digit wins. With those now in the rearview mirror, what do you expect from Coach Burube and company in 2026-27? You talk about success. What does success look like for you in her first year in Evanston?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, the reality is Northwestern hasn't made the NCAA tournament since 2021. There's a need for change. There's a turnaround. This is a team capable of being a better program, but they just haven't, right? They've had under 10 wins in the last 3 seasons, like you just said. They haven't really looked like a true contender since 2019-2020, when the season was unfortunately cut short. But I think Burube is going to look for a turnaround. Now, that's not to say that we should expect a 20-25 win season in year 1, but I think what we should expect and what denotes a successful season, quote unquote, is progress. And that could look like 15 wins, 18 wins, whatever it may be. But more than that, I think we want to see with the women's basketball program and within the Evanston community more of a hopeful attitude towards the future. I think the last 3 seasons have been devoid of that, and I think if Burube is able to bring back some hope and buy-in from both the fans and the players, that will mark a successful season in year 1.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that information, Miguel.
Thank you.
Wildcats, as you mentioned, last made the NCAA tournament in 2021, but Burube hopes that she can snap that drought next season.
Women's lacrosse had a national championship rematch and snapped the #1 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels 31-game win streak in Chapel Hill last week. The matchup was an instant classic that took overtime to decide and was put to bed by none other than Madison Taylor. The Cats' most recent game was against #7 Johns Hopkins at Ryan Field. With just over 2 minutes gone in the first quarter, Northwestern with a free position, and they would capitalize. Maddie Epke with the game's first goal, and it certainly would not be her last. Now in the second quarter here, Johns Hopkins threatening, the ball bouncing around the fan right in front of the Cats' net. Lacey Downey tosses it to Sienna Kyria-Layson, and she scores to take the lead for Johns Hopkins. With seconds remaining in the half, the Cats lose it near the halfway line. Mackenzie Craig bearing down towards the NU goal, and her shot is saved by Jenica Kuoko. Northwestern enters half with a slim 1-goal lead. Out of the break, NU is up a player, and Noelle Cumberland would take advantage of the open space. She starts from well within her half, weaving in and out of traffic across midfield and into Johns Hopkins territory. Still on her own, and she finds the net for an incredible solo goal. Towards the end of the fourth, now Northwestern probing for its 16th goal. Maddie Epke with the ball at the top of the fan. She runs straight through the defense and scores her 5th goal of the match, a dominant performance by Northwestern. The Jays would add another goal, but it was too little, too late. The Cats beat #7 Johns Hopkins at home for their 2nd straight ranked victory. Tailing a rare men's lacrosse game at Northwestern between Notre Dame and Richmond, the Wildcats' next matchup is on the 2nd ever Lacrosse Day in Chicago against the USC Trojans this Saturday.
When we come back, disarray on the diamond during Northwestern softball's Oregon series. Stay with us to learn more.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, go!
Welcome back to Sports Night. Ryan, all this talk about space has me thinking about my favorite movie of the year so far, Project Hail Mary.
You know, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll take your word for it. And I love Ryan Gosling, and even more so, I love anything that has my name in it, Ryan. So it has me interested.
Yeah, well, that movie definitely had me wanting to shoot for the stars. And speaking of stars, Northwestern had several athletes compete at their respective national championships over break. Northwestern had 2 wrestlers qualify for the NCAA championships in Billy DeCraker and Sean Speidel, but they both lost their opening matches. For the first time since the Wildcats failed to qualify for the championships all the way back in 2001, they scored 0 team points.
Swimming found a bit more success at its NCAA championships. The men's team finished 26th in team scoring, its highest finish since 2008, thanks to sophomore All-American Josh Staples. The women placed 36th overall and set a school record in the 200 free relay.
And fencing piled up 54 victories in South Bend to place 6th overall in the nation. Elaine Liu placed 7th in saber and earned second-team All-American honors. She led all Wildcats with 15 saber wins.
Northwestern softball took its first pitches at the ballpark at Rosemont against the 17th-ranked Oregon Ducks over the weekend. The series ended a bit early on Saturday afternoon with agreement from both teams, but not without controversy. Northwestern got off to a hot start in Game 1 when Izzy Cunea, True Medina, and Kaylee Avisato each struck RBI doubles in the 4th inning to take a 5-1 lead. They did not let off the gas as Avisato and Emma Ray both notched RBI triples in the 5th. In the 6th, Medina skied a fly ball into center, deep enough to score Kelsey Nader and give the Cats the run rule victory and their first win versus a ranked opponent this season. The Wildcats struggled in the second game despite Signe Dosi's 3 scoreless innings. Northwestern went hitless until the 4th when an infield single from Ray broke the no-hitter. It would be the last time a Wildcat batter reached base as the Ducks retired the last 11 Northwestern hitters. The Ducks took Game 2 4-0, smothering the Cats' offense, which ended the game 1-for-22 at the plate. Medina got the Cats up early in Game 3 with a homer to left to put the Wildcats up 1-0. Mason got the starting nod and punched out a career-high 9 batters. In the 6th inning, the Cats had the tying run at the plate with the bases loaded and 1 out. However, because of Oregon's travel schedule, a drop-dead rule was put into effect and the game ended mid-at-bat. The final score reverted back to the start of the inning, handing the Ducks the rubber match by a score of 4-2. Medina led the Wildcats offense over the weekend, going 3 for 6 with a home run triple-double in her first home series as a Wildcat. Tomorrow, the Michigan Wolverines will travel to Rosemont to battle the Wildcats on the diamond.
Northwestern baseball did not have to deal with any off-the-wall endings over the weekend, but these Wildcats were still able to produce some drama on the diamond in their series against Washington. The Wildcats reached the final stop on their 2026 West Coast tour at Husky Ballpark in Seattle. Owen McElpatrick leading off in the first, and he gets all of this breaking ball, driving it deep over the left field wall. NU leads by 1, but the Huskies were too powerful at the plate. Blake Wilson sends this one all the way to the warning track in center field. Jack Lausch on the wall, can't get it, falls down, 2-run score, and Washington takes Game 1, 7-2. First inning of Game 2, Logan DeGroot smacks this pitch to right field for a stand-up double, scores Ryan Kucharak and Lausch to take the lead for the Wildcats. But in the bottom of the frame, Colton Bauer launches one 425 feet out of the park into the water, tying the game at 3. And in the 8th inning, an unlikely hero would save the day. Shane Hofstadler ropes one down the left field line to snag the lead for the Wildcats. Northwestern evens the series with a 10-9 win. And on Sunday in the rubber match, you guessed it, the Cats strike first. Kucharak knocks the pitch right up the middle to take a 1-run lead, but the advantage would only last for a few innings once again. Jackson Hotchkiss breaks the donut in the 4th inning with this center field nuke. Washington never looked back and captured the series with a 7-2 Game 3 victory. That ball might still be flying, wow. After a 13-9 victory over Valparaiso on Tuesday afternoon, the Wildcats welcome Michigan State to Evanston for a 3-game tilt this weekend. The team also announced that they'll be back in the friendly confines next month when they take on Indiana. This year is the 4th consecutive campaign in which the Wildcats have played at Wrigley Field. Their first game in the iconic venue was back in 2013. And their most recent game amidst the Ivy was a 12-2 victory over Ohio State.
When we come back, grab your tennis racket and golf cart. We're going country clubbing.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Brendan, do you think we could lose the golf cart and maybe you could just be my caddy?
Well, I'd definitely be a better caddy than golfer. My preferred course would honestly be mini golf.
Now, are you more of a tennis or a pickleball kind of guy?
Oh, tennis, 100%. And speaking of tennis, Northwestern tennis is getting into the swing of conference play, and like Leonardo DiCaprio, it's been one battle after another. 5 of the men's team's last 6 opponents have been ranked. Meanwhile, the women's squad has had to corral 4 consecutive ranked challengers. Both team schedules have certainly been raising a racket.
After falling to 2 ranked opponents, men's tennis continues to struggle as they trekked out to Happy Valley and Columbus to take on Penn State and the number 2 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. The men had a close clash with the Nittany Lions but eventually fell 3-4. Just 2 days later, the Cats faced an even tougher opponent in the Buckeyes and fell 5-love. It's been a difficult stretch for the Cats as they have not had a victory since March 8th. But the Cats have still found success through the doubles pairing of Grayson Casey and Carter Pate, who are now ranked the number 18 doubles partnership in the nation. The Cats begin the final stretch of their season tomorrow against Purdue at home.
Last weekend, women's tennis took a trip out west for a pair of head-to-head matchups with number 20 Washington and number 53 Oregon. After falling love 4 to the Huskies on Friday, the Cats rebounded with a gritty 4-3 win over Oregon on Sunday afternoon. Northwestern was able to nab a lead over the Ducks after Autumn Rabjohns and Nina Feldman each took straight set victories in singles. Sophomore Erica Jessel also contributed to the Cats' strong effort in singles play, taking a 6-2, 1-6, 6-1 win at the number 5 spot. First-year Marilee Rath then played hero for Northwestern, winning a third-set tiebreak in the deciding match to secure victory for NU. The Cats are back at it again this weekend, hosting Michigan State and Michigan here in Evanston.
In a break from the Evanston cold, the Northwestern men's golf team played 54 holes at the Goodwin, formerly known as the U.S. Collegiate Invitational, which was hosted at the Stanford Golf Course. After 3 rounds, the Wildcats placed 10th out of 30 competitors, and a 23-score margin separated Northwestern from the first-ranked team, Stanford. Paving the way for the Cat squad was Swedish senior Daniel Svard, who shot 2 under par. Svard finished 19th individually, making it his 7th top 25 finish since joining the team. Men's golf next sets their sights southeast for the Augusta Haskins Award Invitational this weekend.
Northwestern women's golf journeyed out west to participate in the Ping Arizona State Invitational in Phoenix, Arizona. No Wildcats finished under par for the event, but Ashley Young was a standout individual performer, finishing tied for 25th out of all participants. Northwestern finished 10th as a team out of 16 teams, and even though the Wildcats didn't have a great weekend, Diana Lee and Ashley Young have a big honor currently, as those two are participating in the Augusta National Women's Amateur at the same course as the Masters. The Wildcats as a full team will be back April 17th to 18th at the Therese Hession Buckeye Invitational in Columbus, Ohio to end the season.
Here's where you can catch the Cats.
First, baseball duels Michigan State on Friday at Rocky and Bernice Miller Park at 3 p.m.
Then on Saturday, you can see lacrosse play USC at Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium.
And finally, head to the Combe Tennis Center to catch men's tennis play Indiana at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone 21 days without plays of the week, which is an absolute travesty. Let's fix that when we come back.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. School may be revving up, but the show is in high gear. This has been epic, and thankfully, we're not done quite yet.
We're not? Dude, I got to get out of here. I got to go.
Whoa, now, no, sir. No, sir. We have some magnificent moments for Plays of the Week. Hit it.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Plays of the Week, finally back from break and coming in at number 3. It's lacrosse hosting Johns Hopkins. Kate Radonapruxa gets into space and finds a cutting Annabelle Child who whips it behind her head to extend the lead. Crafty move from the Canadian as the Cats go up 4.
Moving over to the Diamond, Cats trail 7-4 at Washington when Shane Hofstadler takes a pitch out to right field for his first homer as a Wildcat to tie the game. Big ups for the grad student.
And at number 1, also featured on SportsCenter's Top 10, center fielder Kaylee Avasado does a full layout for the spectacular diving catch. Teammates fired up as they join in the celebration. Tremendous play from Avasado.
Well, tonight was a show of many firsts. The first show of the quarter, also the first show where I got to be on desk, and it's been an honor.
Ryan, it's been an honor being up here with you. Even though this might be one of my final studio sessions, I can safely say that these desk discussions never get old.
Well, despite that, time is still passing, and we're nearly out of it. From our entire crew, thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with us.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter or X at NNN Sports and on Instagram at NNN_sports. That's Ryan Boublik. I am forever and always Brendan Preisman. Have a fabulous weekend.
Yay! Good work. Bang out.
Great work.
Bang.
Bang.